Alex. Thank you for allowing me into your sacred room where your home studio is here in Santa Fe. I've been waiting for this opportunity to spend a few minutes with you. Thanks for letting me share this time. So I'm getting a real sense more about who you are and the inner peace that you have that's part of your creative force. And I can see here that you practice yoga.
I love yoga.
And what's the best quality that you get as it relates to your work, do you think?
Well, I think there's a few things. I think the groundedness, the connectedness with the earth, and there's that feeling like when your chakras and all the energy is aligned, that then one can be, it's like this beautiful Native American flute. I can be a vessel. So if I'm very clean inside and clear, then divine can come through me if I allow it. And I also feel that with yoga, breath is so important, and sometimes there's a lot of healing that's happened. My work shows me where I am, and it's a beautiful journey. And I used to hold my breath and I couldn't breathe, and then I got asthma. And a lot of the work is just open-hearted and leads with its heart, because like without being able to just breathe and connect and trust and just have this open-heartedness, life is quite constricted. So I'm really trying to just open and be present to the very moment. And so this is a little piece.
It's a little treasure.
This is called Always. So we have the inspiration of the Southwest, which is home, the desert. But just leading, you know, if you wanted to, the heart is so important. Leading with this, the breath and chest up and head up, and just open-heartedness, to keep that open, that vulnerability, which doesn't mean it's easy, but to try to be authentic and what I want to communicate and how I live my life now. And then I feel that it enables us to connect with others. There's more of an empathy and this desire to live and just to leap off into the wonderment of life. It's very important.
Well, I, having danced for 22 years myself, and classical ballet, and had practiced yoga for many years, I understand the importance of core strength and breath and discipline. And I know that you love dance. And yes. I'm looking at a new piece.
I really love dance.
I believe you called him Carlos.
Well, he's one of my main. It's called Jump for Joy. Let's see, pop him in the light. Are you good with him right
I'm
now?
Great. It's perfect.
And it was really fun trying to get the energy that's under you in that millisecond, because you can't hold this pose long.
No.
And just that feel of taking off, and the energy that comes through the hands and the feet, and that I hope is articulated around it. But there's such joy in dancing, such a freedom and a liberation. And I think the pieces you're looking at now are called Unbounded. They're a collection of works which is all about liberation.
The collection is titled
Unbounded.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good place to take a little break here as we talk a little more about that.
So this is a little picture that began my whole new body of work called Unbounded. And the relationship of people and our relationship with spirit, the universe, whatever we choose to call that power, that connectedness, is vital in my work. And it's this wanting to live with utter abandon. And what things can help us live with utter abandon, that feeling of liberation, of setting ourselves free, of being set free, and what energies can help us do that. So sometimes I will use a figure to sort of symbolize those types of things, and the dance in the air and how the hands and the arms feel. This is another piece here, again, about unbounded, in that circle, in that relationship, that freedom, perhaps embracing a child, dancing with one's inner child, and just that celebration, that freedom of spirit. Who could we be if we shone, if we were our true magnificence? And that's just so important to me. This is called Freedom's Dance, the lifting of a young girl posed from this, for me, for this piece, and the sense of the butterfly, and dancing with this butterfly, Freedom's Dance. You know, what a lesson to live unencumbered by who we think we are, and to be everything we truly are already. And again, the idea of dance and movement. We can see also in this piece that just the energy that lifts us, that's really we can find within ourselves and share with others. Just that ability to lift and take off. And this is Jump for Joy. And this is one of the ways I think that I myself am becoming unbounded and freed. Is a relationship with something greater than myself. Some people see it as a couple. Other people see the relationship of spirit and themselves in this, whether it's male or female, and that's an eternal relationship, that there's support either way. It's coming from nature, coming from everything that surrounds us, that we are. You know, how wonderful that we have stardust in us. I mean, how amazing is that? And we can be free. So I hope this work will encourage people to feel, give them permission to be all they can be and live with a sense of wonder. And then this piece here, again, that sense of being lifted and dancing. Just up on your feet, complete freedom. Freedom's dance. That we can do this. All of us have this within us. And just the lines, the celebration, the movement, the energy. And this is a raw one, so this bronze hasn't had any patina on it, so all this work is brand new, and I'm just in the middle of being with it until I feel what colors she'd like to be. Like this, and it takes a lot to make the gesture, so to find a line in space and to get that energy and movement just right. It's like with a hand, you know, if it's going to be here or if the head's this way and that way, the way emotion is held in the body and how it can be let out and expressed is it can take weeks just to see if a foot's really going in the right space. So I'm excited that the line is something. I mean, it's, you know, even with the circles, with some of these, when if you're on top of it or below it, that's why I love to work up and down all the time, and around, and just the rhythm and the sense of connectedness, and that we're always bringing in this, you know, the Mother Earth, the Father Sky, our place as human beings, and this wonderful energy that we share between each other is huge.
I am so fortunate today to be in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and invited into the home and home studio of Alex Watts. Hi, Alex.
Welcome.
Thank you. And I've asked her to just explain her process a little bit to you in her own words, because there's something more unique about her process than the average bronze sculptor who's dropping work at a foundry and picking it up ready for you to see it in a gallery. So I want you to understand how really special these pieces are and how much more of her are in these pieces than maybe the average bronze sculptures. So Alex, please.
Hi. Well, thank you, Leslie. It's just wonderful to have you here. Let's start with this piece. Firstly, this is a bare bronze. So it's had all the metal work done. This is our Jump for Joy piece. This is a wax taken from the original. This is one of his arms. This is the arm here at the top. Nope, this one. No, I was right at the first place. And this one. So you can see we have the two legs get cut off. We have the torso and two arms. All of this needs to be assembled. I actually rent out a metalworker's workshop. And what we do is we actually put the pieces together. And I have my eye on it all, and we chase it. And so instead of just taking a wax to a foundry and getting them to weld everything, and then getting them to do the patina, which is the coloration on a bronze with hot metal oxides. This is not paint, this is oxides used with a very hot torch, and they don't always look this color. They can take me up to about a week to actually get a patina. So usually when you think bronze, you have a cupric, which is a green or a brown color, or a standard black bronze. And I don't do those. I love to paint the surface. I love them to be unique. When I was in England, I was a ceramic artist, and you'll see some of the clays in my home. And each one of my collectors is a unique, beautiful human being with a unique connection with my work. And so I want to make the colors sing. Sometimes I'll have a little prayer, actually I often do, just to let the colors come through me for that individual who will then be attracted to the piece. And it's really important to me. The patina, yes, so you'll see some purples, some oranges. Some people don't know quite what my work is because it's so different in its coloration. And they can take a week because it's layering and layering and layering. The other thing that I love to do to make each one a little individual, because I do run editions, because my work takes time. I'm not in control. So sometimes it can take a long time just to get a gesture and a line, which I love. This is a little butterfly, and this is in wax. And what I do with each one of these is and this is a little piece that goes up here, and I actually resculpt each little part of that where you get a seam line. So I have to resculpt where all these little pieces are. These would be a good example. We don't have the original piece here, but this is a little bliss, and I had to build with help. We built a wax cage for the plumbing, because these are very thin, some of these arms. I really pushed the bronze to an extreme. And you can see the little lines here. This is a very raw wax. All this needs to be sculpted back. And so each one, I don't give it to the foundry to do, because my work is so delicate that one wrong mark, one swish on a head can completely change the attitude. And that attitude of the heads and the hands and the feet, it's so very important. So I love to make each one a little different. So I'll work into the little hands, and they're tiny. I have to wear huge magnifiers for that. So I don't let anybody touch this but me, so that each one can be a little different in the way it's sculpted when they're in the raw wax, and then in the patina that I feel for each individual.
Thank you so much.
My
because
pleasure.
the first time I met you 4 years ago, and having many, many years of experience and being with sculptors and spending hundreds of hours in foundries up in Sedona and in Shadoni, when I saw your work, I didn't really understand exactly what you were doing. Even with my experience, I knew that there was something unique and something specialized and very tender and mindfully done to each individual piece in each edition. And I'm glad that we had this opportunity. So only you can really express what it is you're doing, but now I've got a greater knowledge of it. So thanks for that.
Thank you. It's an honor to make artwork for people.
It's an honor to be able to have your artwork at the Coast, that you trust me enough with your pieces. I have a great respect for your talent, and I'm so looking forward to standing in the gallery and representing your work for you and finding collectors that have the passion and a connection to it, whether they understand what it is, but it will reveal itself.
It does, and isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Leslie.